This is the Can We Talk podcast. My name is Calvin, aka Chef Cal. I have my co-host Raven Brown.
And we have our other co-host.
You didn't have to do that. You were supposed to introduce yourself, lady.
Oh,
I'm supposed to say hi.
Once again, let's try it again. This is the Can We Talk podcast. I have Raven Brown as my co-host.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I also have Brittany Hill here as the co-host as well.
Hey.
And one more time, this is the Can We Talk podcast. How the fuck are you guys doing? I want to go through each of you. I want to see how you guys are feeling this week, how you guys mentally are, how physically you guys feel, and why you feel that way, but don't go into too much detail because we have a new study that indicates men and women between the ages of 18 and 24 aren't having sex as much as we did. So go ahead, Raven.
Well, I guess y'all heard about my story about me meeting a new person. So this week, I was feeling pretty good. And then when he left, I kind of was feeling kind of down because I don't know when the next time I was going to be able to see this person. And then I've also been feeling kind of weird lately because I just feel like my body's just not how it should be. I don't know. There's some things going on. Like my nail broke. I don't know.
Wait, what?
My nail broke, and my nails are normally like they're really strong. Okay, and my nail's been really brittle lately, so it broke.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So my body's just not like how it should be.
Yeah.
I don't know if does that make sense?
It makes sense to me because like you know your body.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when something's off, it can be anything. You just know something's off. I got you.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me.
But like mentally, I think I've been doing better than what I have been doing in the past. But for the most part, I've been doing okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I've been doing well too. It's been a busy week. I'm mentally, physically, emotionally. It's just been a lot of different things going on. Mm-hmm. My son went back to school in person this week since over a year.
This is the first time they're back in physical school?
Well, he's been doing, we got to choose. So we have been doing, remote learning since spring break last year when everything kind of shut down. It's been a shift. You know what I mean? I think Sunday night, I couldn't sleep because after a whole year, my son is 16, but still sending him back to school with the pandemic and everything, I think it had me emotionally oh Lord, just so going through that. He was fine. I think I had a little bit more anxiety than he did. He was fine. It's different. He said when he got there, he had to go figure out his classes and everything. So he had to check out a Chromebook, and they basically just sit in the classroom. He does what he did at home, just in a classroom. They just sit with the computers and do the same thing.
So still kind of social distancing.
They're social distancing. So I don't think it was what he expected it to be because it's not really interaction. You want it, to help with the social interaction and stuff like that, but they still have to social distance and they're not. So I don't know. It's still a transition. But that was the biggest switch, for me, as far as physically, I'm trying to get back. I feel like last year I was on my grind, workout, doing all my challenges and stuff. Mm-hmm. So we've had our family has suffered with a lot of deaths, over the last couple of months. So it's been emotional and kind of, strenuous on our family. So I'm trying to get back on my grind as far as physical. So I started that up this week. So yeah, just different things going on, but overall, mental health feels good, emotionally good. Physically, I'm finna crank it back into, high gear and, go from there. How about you, Calvin? How are you feeling this week? Yeah?
It's been, just because my space is in the culinary world. That's how I move. That's how I used to move before the pandemic and stuff like that. But it hasn't been there. I used to be able to see what I want to make, and I want to make for a mass amount of people. I can't see it no more. I try so hard to just see it. I can't see it no more. So I've lost a lot of that's not just happened this week. That's something that's been gradually happening.
Yeah.
Like I've been wanting to cook less and less and less and less.
You feel like it hit you a little bit harder this week though?
Yeah, like I don't because this apartment was full of people. I didn't sell plates. I did classes, so groups of 5. Okay. It was more like painting with a twist, but with food.
Oh, I love that.
You know, so everyone can bring your own stuff or whatever and just kick it. But it was only groups of 5 at a time, depending on if you let me know ahead of time. But that was the vibe that I was on. That's how I was moving. I see. I love being in the kitchen, and now it's just like I'd rather just get something quick and get the fuck out of the kitchen.
Really?
Like that's really been hitting me lately. It's crazy because I'm such a big advocate.
Yeah.
For when it comes to the culinary field, and a lot of people don't know that. There's not a reason I'm Chef Cal for a reason, but there's not a reason I'm Chef Cal. Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah. It's a reason. You're Chef Cal for a reason.
Yeah,
there you
facts. Yeah, but I think that my mind is getting to a point where I'm just like, it's time to get back into game shape and get back into the kitchen, getting used to different things and styles and just grating some shit out of nowhere.
Well,
you know,
I was just gonna say that like we need to get you back into that, that mind frame. 4. It's, 4 of us in the room right now. I mean,
we need one more person.
And let me tell you, I love to cook. I love to cook. Like it's a passion of mine. So and I like to experiment with new things. But I still feel like there's a lot that I need to learn. So I am more than happy to come over here and you can teach me some stuff. Because I like to cook. So I like this, different seasonings and stuff. Then
teach me how to make steak.
I've been told you I can do that. You've already had some food that was steak.
I make a good steak.
I can outsteak you, I think.
You think so? We should do a steak.
I can steak
off. Steak off.
Yeah.
Steak
and
out.
Raven, you can
the steak out.
The steak out.
Not the steak out.
Raven, we can do a blind taste test.
Be the judge because
yes.
I know this is,
I'm gonna win.
But honestly, I think I can be the judge.
I would actually go so much harder than you think I would.
And look, I know meat because
it's from Georgia?
No. But
we needed the right there.
I grew up on a farm, so I know a lot about meat and so not just because it's Georgia. But I know.
I think there should be my mindset at this moment is like we should do some kind of cookout for the team, just us that's in this room right now. Mm-hmm. I used to do that for the team.
Surf and turf.
And I think that's something that I want to try to bring back. Like just one day where we all just kind of like put some money together. I'll take care of all the cooking. You don't have to worry about that. Drinks,
I'll get
fun.
all the ingredients.
Like just kicking it like on some super cool shit without the business aspect of the podcast.
Team building. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm with the shits. Let's do it.
So yeah. I mean, now we're gonna. I guess we kind of transition without transition about something we talked about the last episode that we really didn't get the opportunity or the time to like actually discuss, the Cajun Eats thing, right? So both of you guys love their food. I think the food's great.
Where's the claps?
I like it. I like it.
Honestly, I don't like. I love
Get
it.
on the mark.
I love it, and there's like a. I love their food, but I'm a very picky eater. You didn't know that, but I'm a very picky eater. I barely even like pizza.
But how are you a picky eater if you go to Cajun Eats?
Because
it's black owned that drove
No,
you?
it's not even that. It's just like when I tried their Cajun pasta, Lord. I tried it by myself. Like it wasn't. There was no intention for me to like promote them or anything like that because they're black owned. But I went there and I tried the pasta, and I don't even like seafood like that. And I was like, oh my God,
they don't even like seafood like that. It's not even seafood tasty.
It was good. It's good. It was Cajun.
And I'm not shitting on anything. Like I'm not trying to shit on that. I'm just saying, like, for me, food hit different because I do travel. I do go out of my way to try restaurants that no one would ever typically think about. I'm not going to the restaurant that takes an hour or 2 hour wait. I'm not going to that restaurant. True. You know why? Because there's going to be 2.6 billion people who are going to tell me exactly what it is, the atmosphere and stuff like that. And for me to go there and have the same kind of mindset once I walk out, what's the point?
See, like I even went to anything but baked potato.
I haven't had that.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
But everyone in the universe loves it.
Like, I think maybe I needed to try something different from their menu, but I personally did not like it. And I love baked potatoes. I love baked potatoes. Maybe I need to get something more simple.
That's a part of my not disagreeing, but my lack there of fantasy when it comes to Cajun meats, right? Mm-hmm. I know what pasta tastes like. Like, I know what pasta should taste like. We had Cajun pasta from a trillion places. Probably made it yourself a couple times. Yeah. You know what it should taste like.
Yeah.
If it tastes how it's supposed to taste with a little bit extra seasoning, you're going to love it.
I loved it. It was good.
You're going to love it.
Yeah. I mean, I've had Cajun.
And I think it hits a little bit different when somebody else is cooking it for you. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like when you say, well, I don't know, because I make some pretty good stuff that I don't like from other places.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, people kind of disregard their palate.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone has a different palate.
Right.
Right? So if someone's eating 25,000 fried chickens and they go to some place, this fried chicken is fire, they're going to be like, this is the best fried chicken I've ever had. True Kitchen? Was that up there with you for like food taste?
No, because let me tell you what.
I knew it wasn't.
Well, it tasted good. There was things about it that hit your palate and you're like, ooh, this is good. But if I want to compare chickens, hands down, T22. I love Tumble 22.
Where's that at?
In Round Rock, next to Kirby Lane.
That's the new one. The original one that I went. It actually started a food truck, and then they have one off Burnett Road. That's the first one that I went to, and the food is very reasonably priced. Like, it's not overly expensive. You good like. So T22, it's much smaller venue, you know, it doesn't get overly crowded like True Kitchen, you know, and the food was way better, less expensive.
That ties into my point as well. There's reasons I don't go to restaurants that have a mass kind of following. There's a reason for it. Because maybe originally, if you wanted the first 2,000 customers, 3,000 customers in that business eating, their experience is different.
Makes sense.
From someone who has now been commercialized and is just there. They have to produce so much shit. There's no way in hell they can produce the same type of food they produced at 2,000 people at 40,000.
That makes sense.
There's no way. So anytime I go to a city, I don't flock to the places that everyone is talking about. I go to the offshoots. Like, I go to a fusion kitchen. Like, I'm a big person when it comes to like Korean food and Asian food. Like, I love Asian food. So I'll go to Chinatown. Even here, I went there. We went there to the market the other day, and it was smelly as fuck. It was crazy. We watched a catfish get killed right there in front of us because he bought it. He was like, "I want that." And boom, done. Sold him. It was crazy. Oh wow! But there's whole lobsters there, so I'm gonna revisit that market and I'm gonna get me some whole lobster. But you know, like I would go to restaurants that are out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't want your opinion a billion times doesn't create my opinion, but it might shape it.
Yeah.
It might shape it.
Well, I'm gonna plug T22 one more time
because it's a franchise place, so there's like multiple.
But it's small. Yeah, it's a small franchise. Like, there might be 3 in Austin, and one is including the food truck, because they still have the food truck. Let me tell you. I don't know if I should be telling my secret, but when I found it, it was like a hidden gem. It's one of those that you feel like is a hidden gem.
Nothing off of I-35 is a hidden gem.
Well, not no more. But when it was off Burnett Road, ducked off in the cut, nobody.
You was already fucking with it?
Yeah, I was already fucking. Like, we went over there, and their happy hour is amazing. Let me tell you, you can go over there, spend $20, get full, get tipsy. You only need one Big Larry. It's a margarita.
The whole Burnett Road area is really undernized.
So is it a food truck or is it an actual restaurant?
No, it's a restaurant in Round Rock.
Okay.
And so is Burnett Road.
Burnett Road is fire.
It's a restaurant. Smaller. It's kind of got like a backyard vibes. It has
it's not far from Hat Creek Burgers off of Burnett, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's really good.
People are turning Burnett out. Burnett has become weird. I just remember because back then there used to be a bunch of it just used to look bad over there. Now that whole like the whole street of Burnett, just restaurants left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right, left to right. I'm just crazy.
I like that Chinese place, Bamboo Bistro over there
in Round Rock.
No, in off of Burnett Road.
Isn't there one off in Round Rock? Isn't there one by Faux Dan's?
I don't know. See, I feel like I don't go to Round Rock to know to be like.
It's Fodan's La Fonterra.
Yeah.
There's a Fodan's closed.
I think there's a Bamboo. Something.
Yes, I think you're right. But that one closed. I was
Lamar.
super sad.
It closed?
Yes, I tried to go get it the other day.
It used to be. It's a hair store or some shit next to it and a bank.
Yeah.
But you said Bamboo Bistro.
I think that's over there too. I think
their food is always
Right.
fresh. And that's why I like it. Like, I had Chinese food. I ordered Chinese food. I'm not going to say the place because I don't want to discredit anybody. But anyways.
We discrediting everybody. Names. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, it was on DoorDash. And
Lift your mic.
The fried rice was good, but the chicken tasted like I put it in, like I had ate it the day before and I put it in the refrigerator.
Oh no.
And I love my sesame seed chicken to have a little crunch on it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And Bamboo Bistro has never disappointed. It's always hot. It's always fresh. The broccoli even looks like they just plucked it from the vine. So I don't know. Bamboo Bistro is pretty good.
I have to check it out.
And the ladies there are so nice. The one who owns it, she's really nice.
I have to check it out. I got some places to check out.
You do. I have actually there's going to be a situation in the future. Once I keep saying in the future, but like it's going to happen. Like I've been searching restaurants to create some kind of like on the run food show. I've been talking about this for at least 6 months at this point. Shit. But everything's closed and like there's limited space. So like it's like how the fuck am I gonna go into this restaurant and I'm
like I need this whole area back here so we can record.
Just to record. That was ideal before the bullshit happened. And even piggybacking off of the restaurant vibes and stuff like that. Why do you think black owned businesses food wise don't succeed like other cultures?
I think because this is my opinion.
I think there's multiple reasons. Go ahead, Raven, though.
I think my opinion is that they mostly depend on that word black owned. And so whenever you get to black owned, chances are the food is probably not chances are. Well, I don't want to say chances are. A lot of the time the food is not that great. You know what I mean? Because they depend on that word and people just flock to it and you hear a lot about it in social media and stuff like that because it's black owned, not because it's good. You know what I mean?
I agree with the name basis. But as far as the food being good, I think that it's not the food not being good. It's just we eat the same shit. A black owned business is a soul food restaurant. Maybe a Jamaican, actually, let me get outside of that. An African American soul food, African American black owned business restaurant is soul food.
Yeah.
Name one. If there is one out there, I don't want to disrespect anybody. Name someone who has a black owned business restaurant style that is outside of soul food. Because when you go to soul food,
there's a vegan soul food one.
But they probably still have greens, yams, some kind of vegan mac and cheese, some kind of vegan meat or something like that, right? When I see it, so when I don't want to shit on black owned businesses that are restaurants. I just want to see diversity in us as a people because a lot of us grew up on ramen noodles and those kind of like prepackaged things, you know? Mm-hmm. Those things came from Asia. That's not American based stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would like to see some kind of a like push not towards
we can
Asian
do other
people.
Things.
Yeah, like we don't have to just
all do the
soul
same
food.
Thing. That
you know
makes
what I mean?
Sense.
And when I see restaurants or I go to restaurants, especially really popping restaurants like True Kitchen, you know, y'all's is amazing, right? But
it's
food they make, I get from my mom's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to other different cultures, they're in America. The culture is not what it is. So they need to go to Chinese restaurants. There needs to be 12 Chinese restaurants. There needs to be 12 Japanese restaurants, Vietnamese restaurants, Korean restaurants because they're not home. They need to find a place that makes them feel home. But we're home. We're in America. Like, why do I need to go get some meatloaf? If, you know, barring my family is where they are and who they are or whatever. But why do I need to go buy some meatloaf from a black-owned business? My mom will make it for me.
You feel like the black-owned businesses are boxing themselves in, putting themselves in a box? They're putting.
I wouldn't say a box because it's hard to run a business as a black person. Period.
Right.
You know, but I would say maybe they should.
I feel like maybe they're selling.
Maybe not selling themselves short, but maybe they don't get the loans they want for necessarily getting the type of food they want. So I can't speak to them and be like, yo, we need some diversity in soul food.
Because I feel like black-owned businesses have come a long way. Mm-hmm. You know, going back to my mom was, you know, a cosmetologist. She was a hairstylist. So her having her own business in the 90s in a predominantly white city. You know, there would be times where she would try to go, you know, get her own suite, and they would look at her when she came in the door and wouldn't, you know. So now, you know, fast forward, that was in the 90s. Now where we are now, no, it's not by any means where it should be, but it is better trying to be a black business owner than it was back then. So we've come a long way. I still think we have a long way to go, you know, but it's better than it's been, you know, and we're making baby steps in the right direction.
Yeah, and I agree. I just, like, for me, like, if I'm not even gonna like say me particularly. I just think that there's a reason that in the black owned business does try to cater to black people, and that is fucking amazing, right? Mm-hmm. But no other business does that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's not talking down to any business or owners, because anybody who does anything, LLCs, like anybody who does anything, that's amazing, great. Because there's a half amount of people that you're doing it who aren't doing it, and I just feel like there should be some kind of, like, how is there a Chinatown before like a African American town?
True.
Like how is that a thing? And why, when we get, like, so I even talking about to the Miami thing, I really find it disturbing when, like, we all get together and we just want to be like extra. And I don't mean extra in a sense of like extra like other people would think is extra. Like, black people know what extra is when they see black people doing extra. I'm not talking about white people extra.
I think it's a age thing. I think age is a factor that comes into play, because I do feel like once you get out of that like crazy Miami young stage and you get older, and then you have the people in you know, our ages, once we get out of that stage, you hear more people. I don't think in their 20s, early teens, you hear people talking about buying back the neighborhood and buying back the block. You know, you start hearing that a little bit later. So I feel like we try to buy back, so to have like a Chinatown or a black town, we try to buy back the block. You know, for whatever reason, it's harder for our culture to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's the lack of support from trying to go get business loans and that sort of thing, and that there's different hurdles when we try to buy back the block. But I feel like when you talk about like Miami, it's a different mentality, and then once you get to that mentality of doing it, it's a little bit more difficult hurdles for us to do it. Go ahead.
I feel like you hit the money on the lack of support, but I don't think it's necessarily from people willing to give us money to do this. I think it's within our own communities. Not
I think that too.
Not trusting in ourselves.
I think it's both ends too. Like, you know, kind of going back on, like, I don't know if it's how often it happens now, but I think it's getting better, but black people supporting black people has been a thing. You know, I think we are one of the only communities that compete with each other instead of, so I think, like I said, I think it's getting better. Like, you know, I make it a conscious effort of, you know, supporting black owned businesses, because I do know it's hard. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like you said, it's getting outside support plays a factor, and then support within our own community plays a factor as well. I agree with you.
I just wonder why. Is it something to do with our past? Why we won't support each other?
I'm no historian, but I feel like that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but like when I think about it, I kind of feel like if you even take it all the way back to slavery days, right? Like there was the house Negroes, right? And then so it was almost like, you know, the ones that had to work out in the fields kind of looked at them a little bit different. And then you have our complexion thing that we all, light skin versus dark, you know, light skin gets more favoritism. So, you know, you have other people that may be darker complexion. You know, it's almost like they look at each other different, whether one group of people think I'm better or one group of people, you know what I mean? I feel like it's always, I don't know if it stemmed from slavery, but that's kind of how I feel. It could have even gone back all the way to then. Does that make sense?
True.
Yeah, 1000%. And when I say that there should be some kind of like black town, I think that it's crazy because like you think up and downs, as far as like getting things done. There's a Chinatown or two in every state.
Yeah.
Of the USA. In every state. At least one or two.
They support each other. They come together. Like it's no animosity. We got to get shit done. And nothing's gonna stop us. You know what I'm saying? We band together. We gonna get this Chinatown together. We gonna get. I don't know. I just don't.
Do you think it's a factor that are because we weren't brought here at the same time, like as black people? Like I like, and when we were brought here, we were treated as such and such. Not to say other ethnicities weren't treated really, really bad back then, but they came here traditionally by choice. In like the 1900s.
That's true.
Right, also, like they immigrated here with their family to try to make a way when we didn't have a choice. And once we got here and we finally became human.
Yes. And I feel like it's a mind state, like generationally passed down. Like, you know, we have people that may have come up, you know, in the slums, in the hoods that you know, they are taught go get it by any means necessary. So that means if you could be my brother, next door neighbor, and if I gotta rob. What's the saying? Rob Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, that one. Rob Peter to pay Paul. It don't matter who you are. You know what I'm saying? So instead of coming together, you know what I mean? So I think it's a lot of different factors. It's our mindsets, you know, how we grew. That stuff just gets passed on and passed on. No one teaches, hey, y'all work together so we can, you know, be on top. So we don't have to go, you know, it's almost like when they had Black Wall Street. Like
shout out to guess where that was? Where's Black Wall Street?
Oklahoma.
Exactly. Yeah. So y'all should visit it because it's an amazing state and it's an amazing place. You'll see a lot of black-owned stuff, so that's why you should go.
The plug to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma City is an amazing city. If you know the history, you know the feeling.
Right. But it's stuff like that, like. So back then, nobody taught them. They did it together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, they no one taught them either. It just
that's what I said.
Do or die. But they didn't have a choice not to know.
Right. So they figured it out. You know what I'm saying? But like I watched Soul of a Nation this week, and it was talking about Black Wall Street and the devastation that happened. And there's actually a granddaughter of a survivor of the Black Wall Street. You know, the whole massacre that took place, but she was saying, like, after all that happened, nobody talked about it. And it's beyond just the economy that fell right then. It was also legacies that were broken. You know, these businesses, if you think about Trump Towers, if you think about Hilton and stuff, like, they have legacies and stuff that they pass on to their kids. That was all stripped from them and stopped right then. You know what I'm saying? So we didn't have stuff like people like that, or to kind of just continue to build each other. Like, this is what you do. This is what you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have the same, I guess, encouragement and support. You know, I don't know.
I just feel like every time that we get, like, as a black community, I feel like every time that we get like 2 steps ahead, we get 5 steps behind.
Yeah.
And it's sad to say, but that's just the reality of things. It doesn't matter what we do or how we do it. Like, we get ahead, and then we just get pulled back. Maybe it's by our own community, maybe it's not, but we always get pulled. Always get pulled back.
Something happens. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we just gotta.
We can't even march in peace.
keep pushing. You know, I mean, we are a very resilient culture. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything that our culture has had to endure and still enduring, we're very resilient. You know, so shout out to all you melanin listeners out there.
Okay.
Melanated listeners out there. We doing a damn thing.
I mean, those are both. Are we blowing? What
Sorry,
it's like, is that a call? Like, you know, a break, coach.
My finger.
That's the players do in the game when, like, they tired, they point to the injury. They be like,
I just put alcohol on my finger.
You have an injury.
I know.
Don't just say you did that for fun.
Literally, they need to roll me out on a stretcher. It hurts so bad. Have y'all ever broken a nail? Because, like, man, it's the worst. I bite
my nails. I'm nervous. I get nervous.
It's the worst thing ever.
With the super glue on it?
I try to put, whenever you have like extra nails on, because like my nails are just as long as like the other nails. But if I break a nail, I always have to, like, I put super glue on it, like in it, so that it can bond it so it won't hurt as much.
Oh, I know what you're talking
until
about.
You can get it fixed. Because if you're not, it's going to break more and it's going to end up like this.
That crack underneath is something painful.
It is. It's just like,
crucial.
It's like worse than a heartbreak. Maybe not as bad.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty tough.
Not with the Georgia guy?
He broke my heart.
Jesus Christ. I think we were supposed to get into this like right away, but we just went on a tangent, and I'm okay with that.
We did.
I fuck with that. So as we
doubling back,
as I teased at the beginning of the podcast, there is a new study that indicates that men and women between the ages of 18 24 are having sex less often. Experts say delayed adulthood, which means staying to mama's house before you're ready to leave, may be one factor. They added the amount of material on the internet to watch. Added? Did it say added or add? Whatever. Also be affecting personal face-to-face relationships. Let's take it back. Where were you guys when you guys were 18?
At my mama's house. Getting ready to graduate from high school.
Yeah, graduating, headed to college.
So, do you guys agree with that statement? Not saying you agree with it because you guys are clearly of age. I'm not saying you guys are in that age group because no one in this room is.
Yeah, not anymore. Some days is long gone.
Well, definitely whenever I was 18, I definitely wasn't really thinking about guys or anything like that.
You were in the streets?
No, I was actually the opposite. I was at home all the time. And then I actually met my first boyfriend online. And
what site?
It was an app called Exchange. I don't think it exists anymore.
Exchange?
Yeah, it's called
What are you exchanging?
Information. I don't know.
You can exchange whatever you want to exchange on that website. 8 years,
okay?
Whatever you're willing to give up, you can exchange whatever.
Right. And so when I was 18, like I wasn't really thinking about that. Like I had never kissed anybody. I hadn't lost my virginity yet. So, I mean, like, and I was living with my mom, but I was under her roof, but I just respected her enough to not like do any of that. You know what I mean? She never said like, don't date anyone, don't do this, don't do that.
Well, she implied it though. She was like, don't not do that.
Yeah, she was just like, you're going to get pregnant. And I was like, I don't want to have a baby this young. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what kept me back. I just wanted to I just wanted to respect my mom enough to, like, not do that. I don't know.
That's why I left. So I can do whatever I wanted to do.
See,
that was the plan. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm getting out here and I'm going to live my best life. And can't nobody tell me nothing. But then 2 weeks prior to me going to college, I ended up meeting a guy. Turned out to be my husband. Well, now ex-husband, but we ended up being together for 7 years. So I still didn't get to go do everything I wanted to do.
Right.
I didn't get to go wild out.
I don't even remember. I think the first time that I ever been in a club was, I guess my sister, she took me to a club when I was 18, but I was just like, what is this? I don't want to go. And then I didn't really start like clubbing, I guess you can say, until I was like 23, 24. And even then I was like, I still wasn't drinking alcohol. I still wasn't smoking weed medically.
CBD.
Yeah. So I wasn't doing any of that. But I feel like I do more now than I did
when we were younger.
So your question basically is trying to say, I know it's all being politically correct. A new study indicates So it's basically saying right now, between 18 and 24, these folks is not having a hoe stage.
They're not fucking.
They is not going. That's the average hoe stage, right? That's when you're supposed to go through your hoe stage.
26.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, up to 26?
No, 19 to 26.
19 to 26.
That's your sexual
So let me ask you, Calvin, was you going through your hoe stage at this time?
Mine was different stages.
So you broke yours up. I'm gonna do 2 here,
yeah.
3 here.
So
I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna get the whole 8 years, but I'm gonna just break it up. I like how you did that.
I did what Jordan did. You know what I'm saying? I won a couple championships. You know.
No, he didn't.
I retired. I played a different sport. I was just chilling.
Then you came back 45.
Then I came back like 4 or 5. And I had to win. So I got in the gym.
Sick of that.
I was getting fouled like crazy. So I had to get back in the gym. And then I had to take it to another level. You know what I'm saying? I got to get 3 more championships. And I retired. You know, chill for a little bit. Then I came back as the Washington Wizards at 45. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it just what it was.
So what happened during the baseball phase?
You know.
You took that L during the baseball phase?
I took one of those relationship L's, you know, where you spend an amount of time with someone for you guys are committed. I did one of those.
That was the minor league baseball fail. Epic
that shit
fail.
was ghetto as hell. Signing both names on the least ghetto.
Ooh, the relationship. My favorite.
Yeah. I retired twice. Name in the rafters. Yeah, I said, you know what? The game don't look right. Let me come back and change it. So,
okay.
I came back. I left again once. So I'm retired 4 times at this point. You know, at this point I'm retired.
So you're currently retired?
I'm retired. Huh?
The streets still want you.
They do. You know what I'm saying? But I got to. No, the streets don't know my real name. They don't say Cal.
Chef Cal, where you at? We miss you, bro.
Yeah, I got to
get at me, dog.
My streets ain't bros, so.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, I'm in my retired stage. You know, I'm living good. I'm on the farm, kinda. This is a farm.
Not the farm.
Farm life is good though.
Yeah, I'm on the farm.
I mean, that's peaceful. On the have y'all ever been out on the farm? Well, you said you was on a farm. Farm life is peaceful. You ain't gotta worry. Don't nobody really come fuck with you.
Exactly.
Like you out in the you
and if
stay
they
in
do,
your
you have your
distance.
shotgun.
Exactly.
You stay in your distance. You come fuck with people when you want to.
Correct.
When you in the farm life.
Correct.
I see you.
So the truth of the matter is 18-year-olds, 24-year-olds are not fucking. Why are they not fucking? Who cares? Who knows? I really don't care. Like, I don't care because I know why. Because we know it's the internet. Motherfuckers are scared to talk to people. Women are scared to talk.
Crazy.
Girls are scared to talk to boys. Boys are scared to talk to girls because they don't know what intentions are and they see it's crazy mess.
Yeah. I know young kids right now, teenagers that have social anxiety very bad. Like that's a thing. So I think it has to do with internet. I think it has to do with mental health right now. That's at an all-time high. I think it has to do. I think there's so many different factors. I mean, the way that things are. I mean, I don't really. I don't know. It's a lot. I think it has a lot to do with a lot.
I mean, it's the internet, and there was I don't know what it was on. I really can't name what it was on, but there was a discussion about your generation being the generation below you now can see everything you did without having to know that you've seen it. You know what I'm saying? Like anything you did 10 years ago, your kids, your little cousins, everybody can now. So because the internet doesn't leave. I looked at my MySpace a couple months ago.
Wait, you can look at your MySpace?
MySpace still exists. It's still an IP.
I still have my login.
It just doesn't. You can't make money off it because it's still an extended ID. Yeah.
But there's still pictures and stuff on there because I went on there and got pictures. Yeah,
majority of stuff is still on there.
I have a couple of. I don't have my top 8, but I had like 6 of them still there.
It didn't end with top 8. It ended with like 64.
Oh, I can't even. Y'all know I'm old. I probably got off that thing before people was getting off.
MySpace ended at 64. Your top 64. Then it was your 32. Then it was your 24. And then I think it jumped to 12, 8, and 4.
But let me tell you something. I don't think they should have took MySpace away.
Facebook killed it.
But
Facebook was the old people's app back in the day.
Yeah, it was only for college people. But
I don't even know my username.
My
Facebook was the old people app.
But yeah, because when we were young, it was first started for a college platform. Yeah, but when you can select your top 8, so that's how you know somebody was really fucking with you or not.
The top 4. It really started with the top 4.
And then you can make your background and your layout and put the music on it. Like that was lit.
That's coding.
That was perfect.
That's what coding is. That's crazy that the internet has been making money off of us well before we knew it. So we were coding for them. So something I read, it was like any profile that you made that you accepted to make a Facebook or MySpace off of, they own the rights to your background, your music, all that. So the artists that you would take from, they weren't getting paid off of those streams.
Oh, wow.
So somebody can go on your page 1 trillion times, play the same song 1 trillion times. They're not getting paid for it.
That's crazy because I remember I would go to different people's pages and I'd be like, "Oh, I ain't heard that song. I'm gonna go put that song on my page." So all that music getting shared
Coding,
and stuff,
transferring information, that literally was making the internet trillions. Damn. That's how Facebook really popped off, because they was like, not only did we not have to have backgrounds, we create the backgrounds for you. Yeah. We will give you guys the opportunity to do it within our app. Facebook, on MySpace, you had to go outside of the app to create that.
Yeah,
Facebook was like, no, just come here. All you have to be is here, and we'll monetize all that.
That's crazy. I miss MySpace.
I'm about to try to get on my MySpace.
You should try. It's still an IP, so you're not going to see every picture, because a lot of pictures have been disowned by MySpace. Because if someone screenshots your shit on MySpace, and this is 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they take that picture and they put it somewhere else, MySpace can't keep it on their site, because now it's been moved outside of MySpace.
I don't remember.
So you're about to see a bunch of like absent people there with their names there, but you can't see their pictures because it's monetized now.
I think my email was like Pisces Kiddo 1974. I have no freaking idea.
So how do you guys feel about like knowing that your kids in the future are gonna have access to you guys? That might be a class in high school, to be honest with you.
So I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good too.
I'm good because remember, I'm old, y'all. I'm 37, so the internet wasn't popping off when I was doing all my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Like my son is. He's about to be 17, so he already knows, how mama is or whatever. But all my good stuff, the good stuff was not online at all.
The only thing I'm concerned about is that only thing.
That's what's crazy. I'm telling you, I really just read some kind of article about your IP. Like, if you sign up for a site, you do not own your presence on that site. You can make money off a site like Facebook. They have every right to take any photo, any video off of your Facebook and use its promotion for Facebook. Same thing with TikTok. Same thing with Snapchat. Anything you do, they have that's why you see TikTokers in commercials. They have the right to take that from you. You can make money, you can monetize what you're doing, views and likes and stuff like that, but they have every right to take everything you do on there and use it promotion for whatever they want to.
I'm not popping like that.
See, my Snapchat is what I have to worry about more than the OnlyFans. Because, Lord. Anyways.
So you're not scared? Y'all not worried? You're not really scared? Brittany's not worried.
I'm not really worried because I don't.
Hey, y'all, I just logged into my MySpace.
I told you.
Brittany Hill in the house. Oh, look at Robin's picture. Oh!
We on MySpace. Y'all follow us on MySpace.
Follow me on MySpace. Okay. That's what we doing now?
Let's see. Pisces. Y'all think I'm lying about my email? That was it. You know how it's like Bootylicious 2324? Mine was like just Pisces Kiddo 19 something.
All my photos won't load.
All right, pause. Just little difficulties.
We're back.
We're back. Raven needs to lift her mic up though.
So
what were you talking about?
We were talking about kids, but speaking of
what? Huh?
We're talking about the generation of kids.
Yes, we were talking about MySpace as well. So you guys did find your MySpaces, right?
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
I have to go into my old email.
I have found my MySpace, and some of the messages. Yeah, I was a wild boy.
I didn't look at my messages. I was just so captivated by my pictures.
No, I didn't even go for the pictures. I wanted to know what I was talking about back then, and it's tough.
I wasn't talking about shit.
There's tough conversations that had to be had. You had to choose between 1 and 2 girls, and they both in your inbox. And you remember when you couldn't be on MySpace at school? Like, you had to wait till you got home. You sat on the laptop for a couple minutes, just to be on MySpace. That's how I grew up.
I don't think I ever
You don't remember getting home to the messages?
No, I was back when I was in school. It was just AOL and the AOL chat rooms. If I had to go back into those are conversations I don't want to look at. But when I was in MySpace, I was already married at the time. Yeah, I was already grown up, married, had my son. So I was older. So y'all probably were checking them after school. I was already grown.
My ringtone for every person that was a girl ever was "The Best I Ever Had" by Drake.
Oh my god!
So you had them with the same ringtone? Wow.
Yeah, I would change it
If y'all
depending on how
hearing
you
this
treat
now,
me.
y'all were in Calvin's DMs in MySpace. Listen.
You're breaking hearts right now, letting them know that they was not the only one.
Not the
They
only
knew
one.
they weren't, but I changed the song, and that wasn't back then when you could download ringtones. I had to listen to. I had to hope the radio came on, and I could record that shit. I had to hope the song I wanted to be my ringtone came on the radio, because I put record in a second.
Po girls.
You the only one.
Best I
Was
ever
that the
had.
country
The
version?
best I ever had. The best I ever
the
had.
Shania Twain version.
That's funny.
Not the best I ever had.
Facts.
For
That was
every-
that was every girl that had a chance. It was like you, like
Yeah, you my everything. All I ever wanted.
We can do it real.
Bigger than we ever done it.
Cause she only call every time I hear that.
ain't nobody called.
Now I understand this song.
Facts. That's what I'm saying. All that old shit Drake
She the
was
best
talking.
I ever had. Drake, now who were you talking about?
Drake was on them 40-year-olds. I'm telling you, back early.
Not the strippers. That came later.
No, that earlier he was on the older women. You can hear it in his music. You can hear it in his music. What did he say? He came back and fucked his babysitter. That was on some crazy shit. What did he say? You ain't never heard that lyric?
No.
I probably didn't pay attention to it.
We're gonna play that after, like for sure. Remind me. We're gonna play that lyric because that's a fact. This
Which
nigga
song
did
is
say
it in? That song? What song is it in?
What song is it in? Didn't I say something about that before? The he fucked his babysitter.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know which one it is.
I can't name the lyric, but he was like, I fucked my babysitter. Oh, on some crazy shit. What's that song? Is it started from the bottom?
I don't remember.
It's something crazy. Well, shout out to Drake, man. You fuck your babysitter. I mean, you made it.
Let me ask you.
You made it if you fucked the babysitter
I fucked
as an adult.
my babysitter.
Ooh.
Drake.
Just had a thought.
Lyric.
So.
All me, yeah, all me.
So-
2 Chainz and Big Sean.
Only.
Oh.
I never fucked Wayne. I never fucked Drake.
That's only.
Fuck say. If I
That's only.
Yeah. But this is what the
That's
lyric
Nicki
is.
Minaj.
No.
verse.
That's on. It's on all. What is it called? All me.
All me. You're the wrong song. You're an only.
Only.
Yeah, but that's what I looked up and it brought it up.
Speaking of, okay, so speaking of Drake having sex with his babysitter once they were grown, what is the youngest age? Or the biggest age gap? Do you think that you could date someone up or down? Like
Me
what's
up 12, 13.
12 or 13 years?
Up
What about down?
2.
Not the same way. Why would you go 12 up but not?
What? What? What do you mean? What's the difference?
So I think my cap is 7 years either way. But
but you're 37, so
Right.
that's 30
right.
and 44.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. I'm 28. 13 down is not how I get around.
Well, yeah. You can't go.
And even though
10
down-
can't go. Well, no, they're
I've
young
never
minded.
dated anyone younger than me.
Really?
I've only dated them older than me, but now I'm starting to reconsider because not reconsider younger, but you reconsider my age because 40-year-olds these days,
Not these days.
the name that we don't speak of, it acts like an 18-year-old girl who bitches all the time.
Hey, shout out to no, I'm just playing.
So I've always dated older. Like the oldest person that I've ever like been with was like 60 something.
Huh?
What?
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 Hmm?
Like
60? Huh?
60 what?
60 what?
Anyways,
60 proof liquor, what?
What was the next question?
Did it get up?
60. No.
Did you sleep with him?
No, but we were just talking, you know. So
What were you talking about? His retirement fund and how you're gonna get to work tomorrow?
How old were you? How old
Yesterday.
were you?
27.
27 and he was
26
60?
Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe 25.
And he was 60.
It's like 60.
Like 60? So 65-ish?
Like probably like 59.
Ish.
But he was a great guy, honestly.
Why didn't it work?
I was about to ask the same thing.
Why didn't it work?
Mm-hmm.
Just because I just knew that it wouldn't work with him.
Because you're gonna outlive him, or like because of what?
That's not even the problem. If I outlive him,
What was the sex like?
She didn't fuck him.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't fuck him? Mm-hmm. You didn't want to?
No, it's not even that. I just didn't.
That means you don't want to. 9 times out of 10.
No,
It just didn't happen.
One, he lived far away, and then two, I just didn't want to. But there was this 55-year-old
That you did fuck?
that I did.
How was that?
It was just wild.
He was wild?
Yeah.
Full of energy?
Had like chairs and stuff.
What kind of chairs? Like the little hanging chairs?
Was it a sex dungeon?
It was like a sex chair. Where you like over it. But I never used it.
So he would
That
just
was
show
just
you?
kind of weird. I'm just like a normal person, so I'm just like, I like normal things, and that wasn't normal to me.
Wow.
And then also this 40-year-old, he was into like the BSM and stuff like that, and I was just like,
How was that?
there was nipple clamps, and my nipples hurt for like a good month.
Not a good
Clamps.
month. What's a
Not
bad
good
month?
Not
Jesus
a good-
Christ.
Not a freaking good month. But it hurt for a while. So I was just like, I'm just not into that.
Interesting.
I'm just into normal things. Like, I'm probably boring. I don't know.
But at least you gave it a shot, right? You tried it.
I tried, and
you
I was
tried
just
anything
like-
once.
I was like, this is just not for me. Like, I'm not into Christian Grey things. Don't tie me up, because that'll make me scared.
Would you tie somebody else up?
Yeah, and I'll leave them and go eat somewhere.
And come back.
Yeah, they're always still tied there. No, I don't think I'm into being tied up or anything like held
No
hostage.
bondage?
Just because it's just like, it just brings back past memories of things that just
That
happened
makes
over
sense.
horrible.
That makes sense.
So that's
Little PTSD when it comes to stuff like that.
yeah. So that's when I'm just like, eee! Like I just
That makes sense.
cringe.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
That was not even the direction I was taking it.
No,
Go
but
ahead,
it was
Brittany.
it was fun.
Oh.
But
I mean, we were talking about Drake and the age difference.
Yeah.
But speaking of men, though, I have a question for you, Calvin. Do you feel like when you, or men, maybe not necessarily just you, but do you feel like when men meet a woman that they know within 6 months if they're going to marry that person or not?
No. But every woman I've talked to has disagreed with me.
So you don't.
I don't, me personally, I can't see myself being like married.
Making that decision.
I do.
But I'm 28.
I knew in 2 weeks.
So she's so crazy. So what about marriage potential? You can see that dating somebody.
No.
Oh, this person has marriage potential.
At bare minimum, take me a good 3 to 4 holiday cycles before I even thought about that. Marrying any woman. Yeah.
Oh man,
That's any woman.
I knew
And
by the first day.
And that's why I talked about this shit the last time, like how the pressure is for men to marry a woman. And majority of people I know, just me, I know a lot of people I feel like in the central area are divorced. If I get married, if I want to marry somebody, it will at least, at bare minimum, take 4 years.
Well,
At bare minimum.
me and my ex-husband, we dated for 5 before we got married.
That's different. I mean, I don't mean, so you just dated, or you guys were exclusive for those 5 years, right? So did you live together for all 5 years?
For 3 of those years.
I would need at least 4. I would need at least 4 holiday cycles with a person when we're actually outside, not pandemic cycles. Pandemic cycles that's a different kind of thing. That's way different. Yeah. I would need at least 4 traditional cycles, family, friends, all that stuff.
So we for all 5, it was 5 cycles of family stuff together, holidays and everything. I mean, when we started dating, we were inseparable. I mean, I started dating him 2 weeks before I went to college, but for the first 2 years, we saw each other every single weekend, except for 2 out of 2 years. So we were together all the time. We were with each other's families, whatever. And then we moved in together, had a child together. So we started our family were together 5 years before. So we had already had my son before we got married, but we were together 5 years.
For me, it's just because I've heard stories like that, but I've also heard stories of people in their 30s who have gone through that same process, not school and all that stuff, but like being with each other for 5 years. Boom, 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 boom. It's different. Like the first relationship I really truly had, I was like probably 17, 18 years old, and that spilled over to what was about, I was 19, early 20.
Yeah.
Right. We were together all the fucking time.
Yeah.
That meant truly nothing if you're not living with each other, because we did that and we lived with each other slightly after, and it wasn't there.
Yeah,
you know, because you don't get to pick up habits.
Right, and it took some adjustments. I know that one time we got a place together, then we were like, I need to go our separate ways, and then we came back together, lived together another 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So it took some, because it is totally different. Even this, like you said, spending all the time together, but not living together. Living together is two totally different things. So, but
I'll never do it again.
I was just curious.
I don't think I can tell if I'm going to marry someone within 6 months, but I can tell them if I ain't. I know. I'm
this
like,
is true.
Oh,
Facts.
You are crazy, so I'm definitely not going to be marrying you. I'm never going to talk to you. You're a Klingon. You're crazy.
But for me, I think that 5 years was enough time. I think within 5 years, we need to figure some shit out, because, you know,
I mean,
what we doing? What we doing?
That depends on, because everyone comes from a different kind of family, right? Like that's just what it is. Like, you know, traditionally you have people who parents have been married for X amount of years, 30, whatever plus. Then you have people whose parents were never married, but they grow up to be good. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Marriage is something that has to be extraordinary for me. It's not gonna be nothing I can do twice.
Yeah, same.
It's not going to be nothing I can do twice. And I can't commit to someone. If I do it once, that's it. It has to be extraordinary for me. For me.
Yeah.
It has to be extraordinary. I literally, I'm not going to dip into that again.
I can say that
Goddamn
getting married
hold on, lemons I bought.
at 23, getting married at 23, like the love that I experienced from 18 to 25, and now me being 37 and being, you're in two totally different places. Like you grow, you evolve, you know. Mm-hmm. So being in a relationship in my mid 30s and I could say I loved both of them, you know, but it's just so much different, if that makes any sense. Because I mean, I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago, you know, 15 years ago. So
and that's why like I would never want to get married as young as 23 or 22, because a lot of my friends 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 20, even 26 getting married, right? Like to me now would whoop my ass. Yeah. In 20, when I was 21, 23, 24, I would fuck them up.
And I think get married till I'm 40.
I think it's the person's mentality, right? Mm-hmm. So me, like I said, I had already had my son, so I'm all in. I'm all in. There's nothing. I had my family. I was domesticated. There's nothing out. I don't care nothing about the streets. They don't have nothing for me. But the other person has to be there mentally too. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like some of what our situation was, because we started out at 18 and were all in, but then, you know, somebody was like, you know, wait, I didn't get to experience the 18 to 24 whole stage, you know, and I need to go back here and see what I missed, sort of thing. You know what I mean? But for me, I was like, I don't need it. This is what I got. I'm all in for this. But both people have to be on the same page. So I think, like you said, it just depends on where you are mentally. And if you know your 23-year-old self wasn't mentally in that state, then it wouldn't have ended out well anyway, you know. And I think what happened with my ex-husband is we had a family, and he thought he was there. I think I could do this, but his mentality, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't there, so you know, it didn't work or whatever.
See, that's kind of where I think that's kind of how I am right now, where like my 18 to 25-year-old, where I wasn't partying as much as I was now. I wasn't doing as much as I was doing now, but I was in a relationship for 8 years when I was from the age of 18, 17 going on to 18. I was in an 8-year relationship, and I was just like, you know, this is what I want. And I was on that, like, I'm going to get married soon. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. why. And then once I graduated from college, and then I actually got into a really, really serious relationship with this guy who was actually abusive or whatever. But it just, like, I knew that I wanted to marry him, and like I knew that I wanted to I wanted to change my life and do all this shit for him. And then after everything happened between us, like, I was just like, once I moved back to Austin, I was like, you know what? This is actually kind of fun being single and like taking care of myself and having fun. And I think that's kind of where my exes don't see it, because they just don't realize what I've been through in the past.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, it's not like I'm just out there just like with everybody, but I'm just out there just having fun for myself and doing things for myself.
Like I said, we talked about it during a couple of episodes ago, that peace, once you get that peace, it is amazing, and then it's a beautiful thing. And don't let anybody come and disrupt that peace. I am such an advocate for spiritual, mental peace. Once you get there, protect it like no other. Protect your peace, girl. Live your life. Live your, because nobody can make you happy like you make you happy. So love yourself. True. Love yourself.
True.
So I find myself saying so a lot. I'm gonna find something else to say, like a transition, like okay, next. Are people asking the correct questions? When you traditionally meet somebody, right, and you have your traditional question, what's your favorite color? Like, what's this? What's that?
What's your address? What's your social? Where's your birth certificate?
Those are some of the last things I care about.
Yeah,
like I could care less what your color is until I meet you and we actually like vibing. So name, if you guys can both each name 3 questions that you think are very important to know to actually figure out somebody.
Yes. What are your intentions? What are you looking for right now?
That's one.
Yeah, that's what I always ask. Like, what's your intentions? Like, are you here to date? Are you here for a relationship? Are you here just to have fun? Just so that I know that we're on the page, or where I can move, how I'm going to move with you. Yeah. If you're looking for friends, that's fine with me. I would love to be friends. Let me think of my other question. Why are you single? Like, especially if
that's a question that I asked too.
Like, if they're a good guy, Georgia, why are you fucking single, boy? Anyways, he gave me an answer though, which I don't know if I believe it or not. But I still love you. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't love him
yet.
Trying to think.
This is someone you're asking that you would just traditionally ask. We're not talking about your unicorn, Mr. Georgia. No. I'm talking about just normal question. Number 3.
Well, I haven't really talked to anybody in a really long time. That too.
It's been a while for me too.
Yeah.
You still need 3. I don't know what that means
honestly,
for you.
It's just 2. Like, it's just honestly those 2. Like, what are you looking for? Why are you single? And then I just kind of play it by ear. From there.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. It feeds off of
So there's not a third question. You don't ask more than 2 questions.
No. I think the conversation just kind of flows. I don't feel like it's. But one of the one of the questions I ask, why are they single? If. And again, like Raven said, it kind of depends on some of the answers. I feel like it does feel, because I feel like sometimes you don't. It depends on how long you've been talking. Like you don't want to get too.
I'm not talking about the dating process. I'm talking about actual questions that you would ask somebody, whether you've dated for 4 days or 2 seconds. What questions are you guys asking men? What questions are you asking them? Accountability wise. And what answers are you accepting? Raven, answer your 2 questions. Answer these. What are you looking for? What does that mean? What are they supposed to be looking for you? So
basically, what are you looking for? I hate that. Honestly, I hate that question during dating apps. Like, what are you looking for? But I also like I like to just kind of break it down. Like, what are your intentions? Because like people's intentions are different. Because
that's different. That's 2 different things. Attention and what are you looking for are 2 different things. What are you looking for? Name a question. I need a question that you would ask a man.
That is the question. What are you looking for? Are you looking to date? Are you looking for friends? Exactly. Are you looking for somebody to hang out with?
Is that a successful question for y'all?
I think it is, because a lot of people are saying.
If you guys have asked that question, that's been a successful question for you.
Yes, because you know what you're. you're making a decision based on this answer. If this is this something I even want to entertain? Is this something I want to
answer? Question 2 and 3 can't make it better for 1. So if they're like, I'm just chilling, but then you ask, how much money you make a year, and he's like 40 bill.
I really honestly don't care how much money they make.
This is a scenario. I'm not saying those are the questions you would ask in response to that. I'm saying what questions do you guys ask?
What are you looking for? She's right. What are you looking for? Is the number one question.
Like, what is your intention? So are your intentions to date? Or your intentions to be friends with benefits, or your intentions to have relationships? Because I tell them, look, one way or another, I don't really care what you do or who you do or what you're about, but I need to know so how I can know how to move. Because if you're like, because either way, I know where I'm at in my stage of life. I know that I could jump into a relationship and be okay to jump in a relationship because I'm good with myself.
Or for me, I agree with what Raven said. What you're looking for is like one of the number one questions. Because for me, I'm okay with getting to know each other to see where it goes, but I'm also not just playing around either. Yeah. I don't need to just.
So how do you even get into that? How does the conversation start there? How do you get there?
I'm just gonna ask them straight up. Yeah, because I'm just like, look, this is what I always say. Like, what are your intentions? Because one, I don't like my time being wasted, and I don't want to waste anybody else's time. So are you looking for a relationship? And chances are they're like, no, I'm just looking to just, have fun and chill. And then I go into something deeper. Like, what does that mean for you? Like, how does that look for you? Like, what does that look like in your eyes? And that's how I know. And that's how I can easily be like, back off and be like, because a lot of times there are guys out there, won't say any names, you know who you are, that fucking lie. And I'm just looking at them and I can see the red flags already from you. And I'm just saying, if you're honest with me up front, like, we could have, like, of course I can be your friend anytime, any day, any week, because I'm a great friend. But if you're going to sit here and lie to me about like what your intentions are and stuff like that, then of course I'm just not going to look at you even as a good friend.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
But how do you have that conversation though? Like, are these conversations that you guys are having online? Or are these actual phone conversations?
Both.
Yeah.
So you've asked the person in person, like, yo, what are you looking for?
Yeah.
After dealing with them for quite some time?
Not quite some time.
Day one. Day freaking one.
I wouldn't even say, not
for me, day one.
Not necessarily day one. It depends on, is this somebody I met, on social media, right? Like Instagram or Snapchat, and we're just, kikiing back and forth, and then the conversation slowly, gradually picks up. Someone lets them know, let them know that, or lets each other know that you're interested, that sort of thing. Then the conversation will, come up. So what exactly is it that you're looking for? Just seeing if we're on the same page.
So this number one is our number one.
Yeah.
Okay. So number one. Number two.
You have to ask them if they're single.
Are you
because
single?
Because just because they message you and they're interested
single,
in you,
they have a ring.
That does not necessarily mean that they're. Yes, they have.
I'm single, but I have a wife and 3 girlfriends.
Exactly. Or will approach you with the whole ring on, like.
Okay. So you don't get your dusty self away from me.
Again, like Raven said,
and your wife.
These questions are so you can decide how you want to move. Mm-hmm. Because there's nothing worse than somebody lying to you, right? And then I feel like you have taken my choice away from me. You know what I'm saying? You've made my decision for me. You tell me you're single and you're not single, or better yet, not even that one. You tell me that you're interested in a relationship, and that's something that I'm interested in pursuing, and then, in reality, you really have no intention of being in a relationship. So now you've taken my decision, because had you told me up front that you weren't interested in a relationship, I could have chose whether I need to walk away from this situation or still, see what happens. I'm okay with being your friend or whatever, but I don't like you lying or misleading me and taking my decision from me.
Because at the end of the day, I feel like they try to make you feel like this was your fault.
Yeah.
That you didn't say like what you wanted and stuff like that. And you're like, no, you're the one who did not want to be in a relationship in the beginning. And like, I've spoke what my intentions were, and you weren't honest about it. So
yeah.
It's just,
and so I would agree with Raven's number one and number two question. My third question in conversation, I mean, it doesn't have to be in these order. I'm asking them boom, boom, boom. But my third question would be like, what are your goals, or what are your plans, or where do you see yourself in the next, I mean, you don't have, 2, 3, next year, right? Next year, because I feel like we should be trying to better ourselves. We're continuously a work in progress, but what do you have planned for this year? What do you have planned in the next 5 years? Like, where do you see yourself? Because, are we lining up, right? Are your aspirations, are your aspirations or your ambitions lining up with what I have planned for my life? Can we do this together? Is this something that we can, because if you got no ambition, that ain't gonna work. If you know what I'm saying? If you have no drive, if you have no motivation, that's not going to work. But also, your plans may totally go go left, and I'm trying to go straight, or I'm trying to go right. So, this again might not line up. You know what I'm saying? So you can again decide how you want to move with this other person.
True. Oh, that's good. Definitely.
What about you? You got top 3 questions that you like?
What's your address and your social?
Never that. I got upset. You told him where I live. You told Jamal where I live.
Ooh.
He might come pull up on me one time.
Jay,
he didn't get to see my face, so he might not.
Jay, you coming back or no?
Hey, Jamal.
Jay, come pull up on us.
Any questions I ask aren't going to be general statement questions like this. I don't go into any kind of conversation with anybody with general questions at all.
Yeah.
For me, it is really just as simple as, who are you? Like, I want to know you.
Yeah.
I don't care about this stuff yet. Like, if I meet somebody, what you're looking for, why you're single, what your goals and plans are, that doesn't matter to me yet, because I'm not even invested in you. You can tell me all 3 of those things, and that doesn't make me invested in you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, so I feel like if I get what you're saying, and I think these questions, like how I said, when somebody starts with, conversing back and forth and chopping it up, and then it leads to this, because I feel like that is me getting to know that person. You know what I'm saying?
It just helps me route what.
So I don't quote unquote say, who are you? I don't say it like that. But
no, I'm not saying you guys are literally saying this.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
but
like,
because I think it varies from person to person. So as you're getting to know, when you're talking to me, it might be different from when you're initially talking to Raven. The questions might be different. You know what I'm saying? To kind of get to know me a little bit more, to get to know, the shape of the questions are going to be a little bit different. So I do agree with that statement as well. Like, just getting to know them.
And I wasn't trying to do like word for word questions as far as like, because I'm sure you guys, I hope you guys don't just say, what are you looking for? Like, to their face.
Yeah.
If you do, you do you. You move how you move.
It depends on the atmosphere. Are we at the drink? Are you really about something? Like, what the fuck? Like, what we doing? What's going on? It depends on the situation. It'll come out in different ways.
And that also ties into like what we were talking about as far as like, women taking really minor things and blowing them up on certain guys. Like, women never open. So I've come across many friends, many people that have never had any door open for them.
Yeah.
Me, I do that for everybody. Anybody I can just open the door for, men or women. That's just that's how I grew up. Like, I just made sure everyone was good regardless. So as far as like women, I've never had doors open for them. Like, what does that say to those 3 questions? Like, if you've never had that, is those still going to be the same questions you would ask to a gentleman? Like, a person who really, truly cares to just show you a good time, it has no intentions to do anything extra with you, or just wants to be around you and kick it with you, cook for you, hang out with you type stuff. Will those still be the same questions you're going to ask those?
Yeah, because like, why do you want to do all the stuff that someone who's in a relationship, you want to cook, you want to do this, you want to take me out.
That's scary.
So if you want to do all this and you don't want a relationship, okay, that's fine, but just let me know so that I won't have feelings behind it.
That's scary. That's a scary avenue.
My whole part about it is protecting me, and I'm protecting my feelings, because if you're out here saying like you want to take me out to dinner, you want to do this, you want to do that, like all these little cute little boyfriend girlfriend things, like you do not want to have a relationship behind it, that's fine. Like, that's fine that you want to do that, but you're not going to do that with me. We can just be friends.
So I get what Raven's saying, but I get what you're saying too, Calvin. Like, it shouldn't, you as a man, you kind of feel like opening opening a door for someone shouldn't necessarily equate to a relationship. This should just be how men. This is just chivalry. Chivalry should still, whether it's a friend, a male friend opening the door for a female, like, you know. But it's sad that women are not used to it. You know what I'm saying? So women applaud a man, right? It's almost like he's standing out.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the word scary, because like
he's standing out from all the rest. Like, oh my God,
there's men who would do that who don't do that.
And see, that
it's
makes
scary
me think,
because we're sitting, like, I'm sitting here doing that. Like, that's just me.
You're doing it with nothing expected in return.
That do that, and women are like,
Georgia.
"Oh my God, Jesus Christ, he did that. He opened your door.
Yeah, girl, you better give him some. Right, girl, you better give him some. He is out here opening doors. They don't make them like that no more.
That's what I'm
but it
saying.
should. But you're saying it shouldn't.
Me.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like that.
it really shouldn't.
It don't shit on you. You probably got stuff. You know, women throwing coochie at you because, you know, other women ain't used to that.
True.
No comment.
You retired. I forgot.
I retired.
See, that's why
We talk about the old games in 2014.
See, this is why
we can talk about the championship back then. You know, I'm retired. This is the Jordan doc.
See, this is why I immediately started romancing like things like when like guys are just like, oh, like they're super sweet, just because all my past relationships have probably been shit shows. Except for a few. But like if a guy like starts just doing like just extra sweet stuff that's just beyond like the norm for me, which is the norm should just be that, you know what I mean?
That shouldn't be above norm. Like, that should be the norm. Like,
I'm just like, I'm in love.
Right, because I can say the last guy that I talked to, I mean, one thing that when we very first started talking,
Can't left-handed.
one of the very first times we started talking, he actually met up with me and a group of my friends. And he was paying for stuff all night. Everywhere we went, every bar we went, like just paying for stuff for all of us. All of us. I got y'all, I got y'all, I got y'all, I got y'all. And I remember my friends were like, oh my God. Like, you know, and I mean, I guess, you know, that's just the gentleman thing to do. Yeah. Like, but it seems so out of the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking for everything. He's not just buying a drink for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's taking care of all of us, you know? Like, and, you know, that was like no big deal to him. I mean, he did that for his friends too, but it was just crazy how some females or not, you know, well, some people just see that as, oh my God, you know what I mean?
1000%. That's why I keep saying it's scary.
I have a lot of guy friends, and the guy friends that I have, they're like if we're going out or something like that, they will splurge on all the girls and make sure that they are taken care of, and like they will make sure that they are like.
You talking about a group? Y'all got a group that unlike I've ever seen before.
What is massive?
They got a really collective group that has like really fucked with each other for like a long fucking. I be trying to get in there. I be trying to walk in there like with my like mask on, like, yo, yeah, I'm part of the crew. I'm part of it, and then I take my mask off. Calvin, get the fuck out of here. You're not part of the crew.
The guys in our group, they're really nice. Like they'll make sure that you are protected, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I can stay in the room like with all of them. Like if I'm drunk, like completely wasted, and still feel safe, you know.
Yeah.
Or if like someone's just like fucking with us, like we have each other's back. So it's more like a family.
Yeah.
And I've never experienced this because I always keep my circle small, and I always like fuck with who I fuck with, like one person, maybe three, maybe two people, but like never like a big massive, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I mean like, so, but I mean like, I guess it's probably not part of the reason why I'm just kind of like I ask these questions to guys. It's more for my past that I ask these questions,
and everything's about it. You know, like I never want to like discontent or disallow someone's past, right? Because I didn't grow up the same way you grew up. We grew up 2 different ways, 3 different ways. Like I will never sit here and tell someone how they grew up was the wrong way. I'll never do that unless it was like some kind of mass shooting shit. But we're not talking about negative shit today. But
no negativity.
We all on our growth shit, right?
Yeah, for sure. The only reason I wanted to like even look at these questions because this is the questions that I get from people, not me personally, because you know on the streets, but
I am.
So do you feel like people are asking the wrong questions?
Yeah, The questions the questions to get the right answers they're looking for. So I don't want to say I treat people like movies, but
you treat people like movies.
Like, people will tell you exactly who they are. The first correct question you ask them. A lot of people ask simple questions like this, and that's why people are able to lie about stuff like this, because they know this question is coming. So, what are you looking for? Oh, I want a relationship. I want this, this, and this.
So, you think that? So,
men and women are molding their game around questions like this.
So, let me ask you a question. Do you think that people ask specific question, like say it's on our end, right, or subconsciously? Do you think that people ask questions almost geared to receive the answer that they want to hear?
That's humans. But for these particular answers, yeah, because for these particular questions, yes. But for traditional answers, yes. Like, people are going to gear things up to hear a response that makes it easier for them to receive it.
So do you think even if somebody says it, like you said, people will tell them exactly what they
want
to hear?
I think people, they tell them,
but not what they want. But people will tell you who they are.
What you think that they want to hear.
But people will tell you who they are. Mm-hmm. So do you think sometimes whoever's on the receiving end receives it how they want the question? I mean, wants the question answered. You know what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes men will tell you that they don't want a relationship, but women might hear a relationship right now. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
I was about to ask you because I think that we've had this conversation before.
Okay,
as well.
I feel like some guys, like these new generation guys, I don't really know.
New generation guys, you're like people in the same age group. What the fuck?
But anyways, I think that they, like, if you're like asking those questions, like, hey, what are you looking for? And they're like, oh, they want to tell you what they think that you want to hear. So most women, they think most women want a relationship, and that's
not always true.
Exactly,
that's what I want to dig into. So the same question that you asked me, as far as like, so explain it to me again. So you're saying that like a woman wants to ask a guy a question that a guy expects them, like, explain that to me.
Yes. Do you think that we ask, so let's say women to men, do you think women ask a question but already perceiving
a response?
And
that's how they dictate moving forward with somebody.
Right. And almost to be like later down the road, well, you said, because we asked it in a way that we wanted to hear the response that we wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's called a narcissist.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like, asking a question to receive a certain answer that's not asking a question. When it comes to asking stuff like this, men are trained because of women. Women train men.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. Like, you've been in relationships with niggas, the next girl he with is the better version of what you had. And he gonna do a lot better because you taught him what not to do in certain situations.
Yeah.
So you with a guy and you ask him what are you looking for? He knows the exact response because he's with women that told him the exact response they want.
Yeah.
So he regurgitates that back to you, and then you think that, damn, wow, he don't talk to women like that anyways. How does he know this?
Because what you want to hear my response when they're like, "Oh, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that." I'll just be like, "Oh,
really? Yeah."
But and then I'll back away and say, "That is not what I'm looking for." Bye.
I was at a stage where I think men sometimes overthink. Mm-hmm. I think they overthink. They try to tell women what they want to, what they think they want to hear, but a lot of times we just want the truth. Because
a lot of times, not all the times.
I'm going to even say most of the time.
That's the difference. That can't be the truth for all. It might be for you, but
I can't speak for all women.
I just want you to leave me alone and answer my calls when I say it.
But I'm just saying.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I'm just saying, like, so when I say what you're looking for, be honest, because I might not be looking for a dude either.
Yeah.
It's intimidating to ask a woman in this climate. It is extremely. That's why I said it's scary. It's scary for a man to ask a question to a woman that is a physical based question or a relationship based question.
Answer the question honesty.
And we're having a staring contest like this.
With honesty, you think it's scary to answer the question with honesty? If I say what you're looking for, you already think that I'm looking for a relationship. But that might not be what I'm on.
That might not be the truth. Being scared as a man, right? And you're having a conversation with a woman, and they're like, I want to do this, I want to do this, this is what I'm looking for. And you tell them, it's not what I'm looking for. 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to say no. That's just what it is. Whether they believe that or not, because women like to be chased. So they might say no, but then you back off, and then you never talk to them again. You talk to them later on, they'd be like, you never talked to me again, so I was never really interested. And I was like, I told you I wanted to be with you, but you said no. But I was like, I want you to be more of a chase. I wanted you to go harder. Pressure is what women are calling it now.
Apply that pressure. I need you to apply that pressure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, dudes don't want to apply pressure because of y'all responses.
Don't be scared.
It's not being scared. It's about
come with that pressure. Come with the pressure.
A pressure is being a guy that has come to you and you denied him and he don't come back for you. That's not pressure.
No, they always come back. Trust me. Even though you don't want them to, they always.
That's not true.
So
you do.
I have one chance rule. That's my whole life. One chance. You fuck up once, you do something crazy, you do something out of pocket. One chance. That's it. I'm not coming back. There's no talking. There's no hugging. There's nothing. I'm done.
Interesting.
Forever. Like you don't get an opportunity to come back ever. So when I say that, I just mean like men have to be so secure with everything they do. Because women are sitting there looking at men all the fucking time. Like, it's different. The tides have flipped.
I get that. Because, women, let's just say inboxes, right? Men are in women's inboxes all the time, right? So.
Women are in men's inboxes as well.
Okay. I feel like if I have a plethora of people in my inbox.
It means more than one.
I don't right now. I don't, but I'm just throwing that out there. I feel like I don't know, just the, hey, how you doing? I don't know. I feel like you got, what makes you different? What makes you, what makes this, hey, different? Like, hey.
And you don't understand why men want to lie to you?
No. But no, I'm saying apply a little bit more pressure. Like, make yourself stand out from these other 8, 9.
I'm not saying the highs and the hellos. I'm not talking about that.
Okay.
That's different. I'm talking about just the overall conversation. Once you already said the highs and hellos and you guys like each other.
Okay.
But you're not really fucking with each other because of some simple stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that's simple women. I'm talking about like the beginning. I'm talking the very beginning. Like, intrigue me. Stimulate my mind. Let's keep this conversation going.
Who should approach
anybody
first?
You can either way.
Men or women?
I approach you if I was like
either
you.
way.
I'm gonna approach you.
There's no set rule. Men should approach me. If you see something that you like,
go get it.
Georgia. I've slid.
Hey Georgia, if you're listening,
you ever got shut down? You ever got shut down by a dude?
Georgia.
Approaching like that?
I have.
Approaching like that?
And they're like, oh, my woman's right over there. Like, oh, sorry.
I mean, I don't approach in public. Well,
why not?
Do I? It's been so long, y'all. I don't know. I'm out the game.
If it's online, this is my line. I say, oh, hey, future boyfriend.
That's your line?
Yeah. They love it. They're like, ooh, you're so.
So you've never been shut down?
I have one time because
just one time
their girlfriend was there.
What do you mean shut down?
I just mean like you ever DM a dude and he's not fucking with it?
I don't DM other people, like random people like that.
I'll DM somebody.
You don't DM your dudes that you want to fuck with?
I think I've DM'd people and maybe the conversation just didn't spark off or jump off or go. I don't know if it was just me being shut down, but I just feel like.
So you've never been said no one you've reached out to somebody. Like, you've hit the DMs like, hey, yo, baby. What's up? Hey,
it's me, Raven.
What's up?
How you doing?
And it never worked? It didn't work?
Not that I can recall.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's difficult for men because, like, I don't hit DMs like that either. I don't hit DMs like that.
Now, if it's on an app, it's different. I'll just be like, hey, future boyfriend, what you doing? And they're like, hey, girlfriend. And then I'll just stop and I won't message them until the next couple of months.
I feel like if a woman reaches out to a man, like they like that. You know, so
men like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Really?
Yeah, it's annoying. It is absolutely fucking annoying. I'm gonna show my DMs on the screen eventually.
Because men are normally the ones doing the chasing and normally doing the one to initiate things.
And so that's what people want, right?
But yeah, but I think that yes, that's what women like. But I think men also like to be approached. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think reaching out to somebody first, and it's not on no like.
I'm like, get out of my name.
Hey, big head, or nothing like that. You can gradually strike up a conversation, and I think that men like that.
I mostly ignore the people who approach me. Good morning, sweetheart. Ignore. Oh, someone tried to message me, and they were like, wanted to go on a date, and I was like, you didn't respond fast enough. Bye.
That's just the fact. That's different avenues that men have to deal with. So when you see the guy who was attracted to the woman with her ass out, I mean, that's the one who's gonna respond 9 times out of 10.
Hey, I don't.
You see shorty.
My butt's out.
You see shorty with the sweater on, you probably be like, he probably might not be the one. Let me go figure it out. You know, that's a different mindset nowadays. But that's not how I move. But I know dudes who move that way.
I actually had to tell someone this past week because of how I dress when I go out.
In the streets.
Exactly. And yes, I dress like a little hoochie mama.
Not a hoochie mama.
Yeah, hoochie mama. But like, I had to tell a guy, I was like, you need to respect me. I said, I don't care how the fuck I dress or how the fuck I look. I said, I don't know who you think I am, but you will respect me. You can't be just out here thinking that you can touch me, because the next time you lay a hand on me, you might not have a hand. Like,
I feel the same way. If a woman touches me and I don't give them consent, I want to cut their hand off too. It don't sound the same, right?
And I don't care if you have $50 million in your bank account or anything like that.
Kind of aggressive.
Do not touch me.
It don't sound the same, right? Like if you are in a situation where a dude touches you, you're not feeling it, and you slap the fuck out of him, give him 1-2 stab him, you the hero. If a dude gets touched by a woman and he not feeling that shit, he just gotta eat that shit.
Yeah.
And I hate those. You know
what I
because we
mean?
talked about this before with like the. I guess like the domestic violence with men not being the same and equal.
Yes, yeah.
And it goes the same way for like men. Like, I mean, like, of course I wouldn't want like a woman.
I mean,
to
don't
be
just
hit,
take a hand off
but
for
like
a touch. You can tell, like, back up.
I'm gonna just scream. I'll just start screaming in the club. No.
Oh Lord.
No.
That was a part of the song.
So they can look at you, and then I can look at and be like, because I think it'll help if you scream out. No.
You think it would help?
Yeah.
So, as I always say, is when we transition. So is the transition term. There was a, I don't know the story, and I don't want to pull up the story, but there was like the super skinny girl that was online, and they were like comparing bodies to like Meg and somebody else.
Coy. Is her name Coy?
And all the women were going crazy. All the women were going crazy. Like, she's too skinny. She's this, and this, and this, and this. And just going at her crazy. When it comes to men and women, who comes at y'all worse? Like, is it men or is it women who come at women worse?
Women. Women are more critical of other women.
So why is it that men get that kind of like pushback? Like, we the ones who really be trying to like dictate your bodies. And they're not saying that there are people that do. Right, but I'm saying women do that same shit too.
Because for me,
at a higher level, men be chilling.
But I really don't give a fuck what a girl thinks. You know what I mean? You know, I really don't give a fuck what dudes. Well, I do. I mean, you want to impress the other dude. You want to be appealing. Women want to be appealing to whoever they're trying to attract.
Myself.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that if you're a heterosexual, you're gonna be more.
Why do women come at women? Period. At all? Like what is why?
I don't be coming at females. I don't care.
I think it may be like, I don't know. For me personally, my personal experience has always been like not. I don't even want to say it's a jealousy thing.
Because it has to be for like women that do it. I think that it has to be some type of jealousy or envy. Because
that's the word, envy.
They see, you know.
And I'm just like, girl, you can do it too. And then once they first meet, like if you see me out, then chances are like if you're a woman, you're either gonna love how I look, or 2, you're gonna be hating on how I fucking look. And I get both, and more so, I get more people who are hating on me, and more girls, they go over me. Not that anything is out. They go like this, they tug at my clothes, and like, oh, here. And I just think it's an envy thing because, one, probably guys are looking at me, and I didn't even notice. I really don't notice when people are looking at me because I'm in my own world having fun with my friends. I didn't notice it until my friend
pointed it out.
My friend pointed out. He's a guy. He says, "Wow, you're like really eye candy here." I'm not even bragging on myself. He said, "You're eye candy here," and I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Really?"
Niggas is
Me?
dusty in the domain. Yeah, I see it all the time. I'm just like, yo, like you can just let her hang out. Like you ain't gotta be staring the whole time, my G.
Yeah. And I'm just like, for me, when I go out, I feel like I'm one of the guys.
Yeah.
And that's probably why my mindset is just like, I don't really give a fuck or what, I don't care. Yeah. It's just because I'm just like one of the guys, hanging out. And I have no intention to meet up with anybody. I have no intention to do anything with anybody. My intention is to have fun with my friends and just live life, because I'm like, I get so sick and tired of like guys that I date telling me how to dress, what to do, what to not do, being so manipulative and controlling, that like I just love my freedom and like, being around the people that I love to be around, who don't judge me, who don't envy me, who are just there just because they love being around me.
Right.
So, but once girls come up to me and they actually meet me, or they meet me in the bathroom, the quote unquote, like the great bathroom.
I've met some good friends in the bathroom.
Same. Once they meet me in the bathroom, they're like, "Oh my God, you're just so nice." Blah 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 blah. And you're just like, "Yeah, I am nice," but you didn't have to like hate on me in the beginning.
So my transition is trash. I couldn't transition that to anything except the 13 and 15-year-old people who, I guess girls who tried to rob this Uber Eats driver. Mm-hmm. So as far as Washington D.C., the 13-year-old can't be tried as an adult and is only eligible up to 21 years old. So 13 to 21 years old is the length of time they could be in jail for this crime.
Right. So the 13-year-old.
No.
So the 13-year-old.
The 13-year-old
can possibly be up in jail till they're 21.
In juvenile, they can't be sent to real people adult jails. The 15-year-old, if I can find it, can be. They can be sent to juvie or tried as an adult, because 16, I think, in Washington is an adult as far as when tried in like a capital murder crime or any kind of crime like that.
Wait a minute, she can't, once she's tried as a 15-year-old, the case can't be reopened when she's 16, right?
No.
But so what if she turns 16 while they're going?
It's at the time of the crime.
Okay, so she's 15. So you said there's
the 13 and the 15-year-old.
Right.
So the 13-year-old can't serve more up until 21. So she can be tried as a juvie and be in juvie until she's 21. They can't hold her anything past that in Washington. The 15-year-old can be tried as an adult.
But I thought it was 16 is when they tried it as an adult.
So 15, the courts can make a case from 15 to 16 years old.
Oh, I see.
You can make a case. You can't make a case from 13 years old to 16-year-old or 14 to 16. You can make a case from 1 year. Right.
Gotcha.
So if they get actually charged, the 15-year-old could be in there for a long time. She'd be tried as an adult and be in adult prison for a long time.
So I just feel like the punishment should be equal.
I hit it.
I think the punishment should be equal.
It should be.
But it won't be.
But it can't be by the law.
Right. So what is the minimum that the 15-year-old can get?
I don't know if there's a minimum. Because if you're tried as an adult, there's no minimum per age. So depending on the state, depending on the evidence, and depending on the crime.
So is it going to be capital murder?
I mean, it depends on the trial hasn't happened, but to my understanding, if the 15-year-old is actually found guilty, right, then she can be in there for a very long time. There's a minimum age if she's tried as an adult. And also there's a factor too, like if the 15-year-old was the one who made up the ideal to do it, or was it the 13-year-old and the 15-year-old was following?
I'm wondering if, since the 15-year-old can get a harsher punishment, if they can go with a lesser crime.
To my knowledge, that really depends on if the 13-year-old person who can't go past 21 is the person who initiated the ideal. The 15-year-old will get leeway, but that's not going to change her being from a minor to an adult.
Mm-hmm. So you said can. It's not guaranteed that she will get tried as an adult, or she's going to get tried as an adult.
No, correct. It just depends.
Oh, okay,
it really depends on the evidence. The evidence about the age, whoever did it is going to be a factor.
It's going to pay
she's tried
the major factor.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's crazy. That's wild.
Their
lives. Their lives.
They better get the same lawyer.
Their lives are going to be
a fucking news show for the rest of their lives.
I think that it's
there's going to be a documentary in about 15 years. Don't forget this. I
think that from research that I've done and things that I've seen in cases, if they do the case together instead of being tried separately, it'll be easier for them.
It's going to be a separate trial because there's two courts you work with. So you guarantee have the juvenile courts you have to work with being the 13-year-old. Right. But if she gets tried as a minor, that's the thing. If she gets tried as a minor, they will be tried in the same kind of court. But if she doesn't, because of circumstances, 15-year-old will be in adult court, 13-year-old will be in traditional juvenile court.
Yeah. It's sad though.
You know what I mean? So there's not a possibility of them being together unless the evidence point to the 13-year-old being the one that came up with the ideal in the first place. And I don't know how you prove that.
And then the prosecutor's going to probably try to.
The prosecutor's going to go for adulthood.
Absolutely.
the full extent.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad.
It is sad.
That's sad.
I was pulling something else out while you were talking. I just forgot exactly what I was going to. So movies and TV shows, have you guys been watching anything new? Anything that's come on your screen? Any movies?
No. Oh, wait. I tried to watch King Kong, but I fell asleep last night. It looked good so far, but I kind of was with someone. I was watching it, and I fell asleep. I don't know. I've just been tired.
You fell asleep?
I fell asleep on them.
I haven't watched much. I haven't watched much TV, to be honest.
So that's the only thing that I've recently been watching. That I watched recently was King Kong, and I got to the part where Kong breaks the thing off his neck. He's like, "Rah!"
I watched The Housewives of Atlanta.
I don't think I've ever watched that. Like
Gone with the Wind, fabulous.
I can't stand Kenya. I cannot stand Kenya. She is the biggest instigator, and she has a little puppet this season too.
Oh,
I forgot. Oh, Latoya. When talk about some shit starting. Whoo! She has my blood boiling. And from what the internet says, she's a pathological liar.
So I don't know if you guys had watched the latest donkey of the day. So there was a situation. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. Black dude arrested for 17 years for killing his mother. Is released after 17 years. Walking on the street, beats up this old Asian lady.
So yep, heard about this donkey of the day.
So he beats her up in front of a building, and in front of the building is your doorman.
Yep.
In New York.
Yep.
They didn't do shit, and they closed the door.
Yep. They got fired, right?
They got fired for it. What's my job? What's my job? Because you don't know what the fuck's out that door. No one knows. No one knew no one. If you give me some backstory, right, I will consciously fight anybody if you tell me their backstory. If you told me they killed their mother and they were in prison for 17 years, I'm not taking that fight.
Take my job.
Yeah, but you don't know at the time.
No, I know, but you have to know that that's possible. That's in the universe. There's a possibility the person you're about to confront is a fucked up person.
I'm closing the door. I'm calling the police.
Yeah, but
closing the door, and especially in New York, closing the door and calling the police.
Definitely call the police, but I don't even think they called the police. From what the donkey of the day said,
they did call the police. So because originally the donkey of the day was them being security guards.
Right.
They weren't security guards. They were doormen.
Right.
Which doormen are usually really young or really old.
It's tough. It's tough because
he did do his job. He called the police.
So the whatever the quote unquote the rule book is, you're supposed to, if some shit happens right outside, you close the doors, you protect the guests that are inside, and that's how you move.
So what was the reasoning for them being fired?
The reason was the reason wasn't justified for me. It was a moral justification. You can't put me in a job with rules and then tell me to go on my morals.
Right.
Like if my morals are something, if I'm like, don't do that, but the rules say don't do that, and you fire me for doing the rules but not following my moral, that's not what I was taught on. Yeah. I know that there were men in the lobby who couldn't have prevented it. It happened. And when you're at work, everyone knows when you're at fucking work, it's the middle of the fucking day, it's 2:00 in the afternoon. No one's really putting in work. Everyone's just doing what they're supposed to do.
Let's go by on his job description.
You know what I mean? Everyone's just doing what the fuck they're supposed to be doing at that moment. And Shorty gets stomped out. Like, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? And this is your job.
Protect yourself.
That's self-preservation. And you have to take that into consideration. Charlemagne and Envy and maybe Yee was saying something along the lines like, it's immoral. I would jump out there and I would fight him and I'd beat him up and I'd stop him from doing that. No one's going to do that because you know why? Self-preservation. You can say that on a radio station full of billions of dollars. You can say that.
But what if this guy has a knife? What if he has a gun? What if he has, there's so many factors that plays into it.
Nobody knows.
If somebody would have tried to go out there and help this lady,
and then he gets fucked up. But if he gets fucked up and she lives, who's the hero?
They'll still say he's a hero.
Why?
Because he put his life on the line to save her.
She makes it. He doesn't.
I get like, it. What? I get it. But they will hail him as a hero.
That's not a hero. A hero is a person who can dictate and figure out exactly what needs to happen. So if you're protecting a building, right? If you're supposed to be in front of a building and there's X amount of people in this building, and someone's doing some fuck shit outside this building, your first thought should be secure the building, and then you go out and handle that.
What?
So security, if there was security in that building, at that moment, you back the fuck up, you close the doors, security goes the fuck out, police are called, you fuck up that guy, check on Shorty. While he's getting fucked up by the police and every security agency in the universe, then you check on Shorty, you go out there, you make sure she's good, you pull her back in when the threat's gone. That's any kind of place in the universe.
What would the Avengers do?
Exactly that. They would take. I was like, they would take care.
That's what you go by. What would the Avengers do? If this was a Marvel movie, would they have saved the lady? What would Cap do? You gotta know what would Captain America do?
Captain got a job and kids to take care of.
That's what you do. What would Hawkeye do? What would Hawkeye do?
Stay at the crib with the bomb. He's done. He wanted to be done. Hawkeye wanted to be done. He was tired.
Okay, so you might have a chance with Cap, but not Hawkeye.
Hawkeye was done. He was done. He was at the crib. His family disappeared. He turned the road and he started slicing and dicing people. Shit's crazy. But no, we're not leaving that because I don't think that's a manhood thing. A lot of women, I've seen a lot of women comment on this and say, if like what? If it was a man beating on a man, I would have jumped out there. No, you would not.
If my mama was getting beat, I would hope that people wouldn't close the door on my mama.
You have to position yourself to where your mom is. You have to understand where she's at.
She walking down the street
in New York.
Was it at night?
No,
in broad 2:00 in the afternoon.
There's plenty of people.
There's not plenty of people. I'm talking about 2:00 in the afternoon.
I would say the best bet is to call the police because you never know what this person has, like a weapon or something. Regardless, I would call the police first.
The best bet is if the company has security, you tell the security to go fuck this dude up, and then you secure the woman because you can't pull her in. What happens if this? Like you can't. I think the thing is being lost that people. She's
on the street. This was not necessarily happening inside their building.
This is not in the building.
Right, I did see the video. Now that I'm kind of putting it together, this is outside of your business. This is not in your lobby where typically, yes, let me go handle some situation that's going on inside my lobby.
They were not in the building.
They're on the whole street.
So
they're outside.
So did she survive?
And yes, she did survive.
She did survive, yes. She was an older Asian woman.
In reality, I think what happened is what most people will do. Most people usually pull out their cameras. and start recording.
That's the thing. That's not how the recording happened. The recording came from the lobby of the place outside. So the camera was angled outside to watch people walk in.
Gotcha.
This shit happened literally right outside the front door.
Right.
So they said this. The dude just smacked the lady, hit her. Dudes from the doorman just pull the doors in type shit. Like, what the fuck's going on? Pull the doors in, and then they react.
Yeah, because I feel like the same thing would have happened. Say it was
anywhere else in the universe.
Yeah, outside a department store. They not gonna go out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do I go into the line of fire or do I protect everything? I mean, that's a lockdown, right? Your building just went on lockdown. There's some shit happening outside. Everybody is safe on the inside. Lock this shit down.
A school,
yeah,
a church, like
you
put, there's some shit going outside. Everyone get inside, and lock it down, and then let's figure it out.
So that makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
You lock the building down.
Exactly. That's why I disagreed with that donkey today. Like, I just don't understand. Like, that's challenging a man's manhood, but also that's not really challenging what you should do in those moments.
Yeah.
Like, you're protecting a building. Your job is to protect the building. Outside of this building, I ain't got shit to do with you.
Exactly.
Because if it was a sniper outside, am I going to run towards this because there's a sniper? No, you're going to lock down the building.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm a doorman and everything, but my job is to run outside and get shot.
And they got fired.
That doesn't make sense.
They got fired because it caught someone in the actual building had to release that shit.
If he didn't call the police, I would just say, okay, that like he could be get a warning for like his job or anything like that. But if something's going down like outside, my first instinct is like, let me call the police on this whatever. Like, this lady's getting beat up or whatever. But if he didn't do that,
to my honest opinion, I really just think it was like, if this had happened to like a black woman, or I'll even say this, an Italian woman or any Caucasian person, this wouldn't be a big deal. But because we're dealing with, Asian hate and things like that, things are being a little heightened in the moment. So I think that it would be a little different kind of coverage, because the coverage originally was just the guy beating up the Asian woman. They didn't go into the actual building's video and pull that out until recently. But if you're inside and something's happening outside your doors, I think you should secure the people that are in, and that's what you're there for. You're not there to go outside, open the shit up, and then what if that was a distraction? What if he's fake beating her up, whooping her ass, and then they go outside and then people just pile fuck up everything?
Yeah, it's a whole swarm of people. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a crazy world we live in.
Crazy world.
Very crazy.
So no TV, no movies?
Just King Kong. Sorry.
Did you watch it?
I watched some of it, but I
Halfway?
fell asleep. I literally was tired because I smoked a little bit of my medical marijuana. And I had wine, and I was already in the sun all day. So
I just watched Soul of a Nation.
I've never heard of that. What is that?
What is that about?
Pretty much like the stuff.
Is it a TV show? Or?
Yeah, it's a TV show. I only watched part of the episode.
I did?
Pull it up. Soul of a Nation.
It's going slow. It's not responding. So fill in some shit. Just keep talking until it responds. I watch it? I watched it?
On this week's Soul of a Nation. This week's Soul of a Nation was talking about Black Wall Street and the stuff that, our culture is going through. Yes. So it's a different series. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to break it. I haven't watched all the. No, this is on. Is it ABC? I haven't watched all of them. My sister was like, "You gotta watch it," and I just caught this week's episode. It was very, very, very educational. Very educational.
Was it like a relationship swap thing with like the black guy with a white woman or some shit like that? Or was it like a couple versus couple thing at some point? It was like a black guy who's dating a black woman type shit.
They're different.
Yeah, so it's like a documentary exploring the authentic realities of Black life by exploring specific themes, including spirituality, Black joy, activism in sports, racial reckoning that erupted after George Floyd. Sorry, I mispronounced the name. George Floyd's death. Jamil Hill, Marseille Martin, and others are among the stellar roster of guests. It was deep. So there's the first episode was about reckonings. This past one was about faith. The one coming up is about no, I'm taking that back. Reckonings, faith was March 16th. Black Boy Joy was the episode. Reconstruction is the episode. So it's just a lot of
Just like different storylines.
yeah, but it's more of a documentary. Very, very educational.
Let's check it out.
Soul of a Nation.
Okay, so I did watch it.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we got through every single topic that we had available.
We need that clap sound.
Yay! Thank you. We have one
last thing.
Last thing.
But even before, I want to. I know we started off talking about doing like some kind of like team builder thing. We should elect to do something in the near future. When I mean near future, I mean next week, like Tuesday, Wednesday.
I'm open.
Pick a food, pick something, and let's all chip in. Let's all just vibe without the stress of the podcast. Let's just all be in our own space and just no business talk, no podcast talk, and hang out and drink, and I'll cook everything possible that I can. So give me some kind of ideas that what you guys want to eat.
Steak.
I can do that.
I'm down for whatever. I told you my palate is open to new things.
Cajun pasta.
I can make better Cajun pasta than them, but
Let's do Tuesday. Let's do Tuesday.
Raven, are you open Tuesday? This Tuesday?
It just depends on the time. If it's early, yes. If not, then
Georgia and us share the same time, right? Time zone.
Is Wednesday better? Wednesday's better.
Wednesday would be better.
Let's do Wednesday then.
That's
I'm
fine.
down.
That's fine. Let's come up with a list.
Locked in Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Gang. We all here.
I want the sun to be out because we do a lot of stuff at night.
Okay, so you want to do early enough, like
let's do some because it gets dark at like 7 something. Let's try to find something like in between like 5 and 7. I know you're working.
Yeah.
So something in between like
I can be here by 6.
6 and 7:45 ish.
Be here
where
by
the sun's
6.
out. Okay.
So to get most of the sun, because we run on CP time. So let's go ahead and shoot for the earlier, so we can make it before the sun goes down.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and shoot for 6.
Let's figure out something.
If you say 5, I'll be here at 8.
Raven, be here at 3, so you can be here by 6.
Okay. I'm just put 3 in my head, and I'll be here right at 6.
Yeah, let's figure out something, guys. I mean,
We need it.
It gets stressful. I know that everything is tough. You know what I mean? So let's set up some Wednesday.
Positive vibes, enjoy each other.
Let's sing our music. Sunlight, drinks, all that shit. Nails.
Please, someone, Lord, just give
a little twerking if you want to twerking. If y'all got the magnies still popping, we can do a little twerking.
I can't dance.
Yeah, for sure. So like the last thing that's on here on our list of very important things, last but not least, of course, DMX going through what he's going through. I don't even feel comfortable just naming what the alleged things are that he's going through, but he just is going through what he's going through, and I just hope everything works out for him. I think that
prayers for DMX. He's a legend. He's amazing. So prayers for him. I know his family's going through it right now, so prayers and support for his family, for all his kids. It's tough. I know 2020 was a hell of a year, right? So everybody was looking forward to 2021, starting fresh. 21 is kind of taking off a little rough and rocky. So, with everything the world's going through, we just gotta continue to stay positive. Like I said, prayers for him, his family. I hope he pulls through.
And this is outside the hospital.
I love
where he's currently at. They did like a really mass like outing.
Yeah,
I
love
couple
the
of days.
support. You know, Rough Riders showing up, coming through big. You know, and doing the prayer, the vigil outside. You know, the hospital for him. You know, just the love, the outpour that he's getting from the people. So clearly, by numbers don't lie. You know, the world loved this man. You know, so just prayers for him and his family. You know, they need all the love and support that they can get right now. So I really hope, you know, I'm grew up in the church, so you know we always said nothing is final until God says it's final. So I'm just believing in that, and I just through it all, just give them lots of prayers and love and support.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to DMX. Once again, hopefully things get better, and I hope it just ends the way we want it to.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that doesn't happen every time, but hopefully this happens this time, and hopefully we see what this guy's built continuously.
Yeah. I guess I will go ahead and end this on, a positive note. I always try to look for something inspirational to end on. Luckily today, I feel like we're kind of blessed. I'm going to end it with a quote from DMX. Okay. My birth was a blessing, sent to live and die on earth. It's a blessing. We each have a star. All you have to do is find it. Once you do, everyone sees it. You won't be blinded. From DMX. Salute to DMX. Find your star. Do what he said. Find your star. Let it shine.
For sure, for sure. Raven, you have anything else to say?
No, just continue those prayers for DMX and family and everybody around you.
Yep.
All right,
Keep
guys.
moving.
This is the Can We Talk podcast. Of course, as always, I have Raven Brown.
Hello, or goodbye.
And Brittany Hill.
Signing out.
See y'all
Goodbye,
next
guys.
time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.